over Nerf Retaliator. Hey troops, it's Josh here with my first ever Nerf review, and in fact my first ever video on my second channel, GeneralJSmithALT. Now if you don't already know, my name is Josh, hi there, and I will be doing on this channel pretty much anything else that I like. If you don't already know, my main channel is devoted to LEGO Star Wars. However, this channel will be devoted to everything else under the sun, which is why I want you to leave in the comments your personal thoughts on what you want me to do. If I like it, and if I enjoy it, then yeah, I might do it. Anyway though, we are back here with my first ever Nerf review, and if you don't already know, Nerf is probably my second favourite toy in the entire world. Now we are here with the Elite Retaliator. Oh yes, I felt this was really a good one to start off with, really, because mainly this is probably one of the most common guns, apart from maybe the long shot and things like that, that you can really get. The vast, if you like Nerf, you probably are going to have this. Now this is the elite version of the Recon, which is probably one of the most well-known guns Nerf has ever produced. And we have right here. We'll be comparing those later. Anyway though, first of all, a bit of background check. You probably already know this. Mainly this gun has been probably out from, getting on 2 years now. But we'll just go through it anyway, since it's the first time on my channel. Now, I think at the beginning of 2012 or so, or around that time, Nerf released the Elite series of guns. Basically, all the classic guns, all the ones that, most people had, for example, Longshot, Recon, Raider, all those things, they decided to re-release them, but in Elite style. And basically all they did was give it a new colour, maybe a slightly different design depending on the gun, and just give it elite ranges and just, well, improve everything about the gun. And the Recon is no different. This is one of the first elite guns to come out, and I do want to say it is very good. Compared to the normal N-Strike ones, it is brilliant. As elite guns go, it's alright. It's definitely one of the most customizable guns, but so was the Recon. So I mean, it's the sort of average trooper, the one that, if you're going to go into battle, this is sort of the average thing that most people would take. Nothing particularly special about it. There's no special features. This isn't good for any sort of specialized troops, any specialized missions, is what I'm trying to say. But, it's a good gun anyway. This is really just a general gun, which you'll just use in multi-battle. Yeah. So, let's get on to the features. Now, as I said, it's one of the most customizable guns, therefore you can take a lot off and on of it. First we have a stock. Really nothing to say about that, to be honest. Sorry, I'm trying to see the camera. I don't know what I'm showing. Unlike the Recons, get the Recons here. Okay. The Recon you see was a lot longer and just sort of vertical or horizontal. I don't know anything, but yeah. And we just really a right-angled edge. It was very good at the time. I added this with most guns. I added it with my normal Alpha Trooper until I got the Elite Alpha Trooper. But this one I feel is a lot more comfortable. It is quite a bit shorter, as you see there. It's attached to the exact same mechanism. Basically, it's not much different other than the fact this was blue, this is yellow, and it's just a bit more comfortable. It looks better in my personal opinion. It's more curved, and just everything about it I think is better. Now, because this is my first review, I might as well go off the basics of the gun. Really, this is the only time we'll ever do this, mainly because I think you either, if you are into Nerf, probably definitely already know this. Also, though, I feel that all guns come with this. I'm only going to go over it once. I'm going to go over every single gun. Now, the stock does attach with that thing there. Very simple. Really nothing to it. You see in there those things poking out? Yeah? There you go. I feel there's not really much, you don't have to go into much detail about that. That's just how we go. Okay, so let's get on to the barrel. Now, we do get a barrel in the Recon, which, funny enough, we don't get that many barrels in guns these days, or at least not attached with them. Because think about it, how many barrels have we actually got attached to the gun? The Recon, I suppose the long shot, the long strike, I suppose. But I mean, the Mega Centurion's barrel doesn't even come off once you put it on, so there you go. But anyway, this is, once again, like the entire Retaliator, this is completely detachable, and you can put this on any gun, assuming it has this specialised barrel thing on the front. It's just an average barrel. You get what you see. I mean, how long is it? I don't know. Definitely less than a foot. ooh, 10 inches, I don't know. I'm not reading that sort of thing. You do have a detachable and up, down, down, up, down sight on there on the front, which you've got with the Recon as well. And it's basically exactly the same as the Recon, exact same molds, exact same everything, except in the blue and white colour. Now the one thing you do get, as opposed to the Recon where you got a laser pointer, instead you get this, is a grip. And once again, nothing much to this. We have had bipods and tripods before which you can attach on. This one is just a grip. We've probably had grips before, which I just don't know about. But this is the first grip for me anyway. So I mean, that's kind of cool. Personally, I just think it looks a bit better. That's the reason I'd keep it on there. Not as much comfortability, but the fact I just think it looks a bit better, the Retaliator, with this on. Even though it still is pretty cool without it. And I suppose it is pretty comfortable anyway. So, yeah. Now we'll just put this back on, and there we go. Oh yeah. Let's get into the actual gun part, which is really the part everyone wants to know about, the gun itself. Once again, exactly like the Recon, apart from the fact obviously the internals are slightly different and the colour is the blue and white as opposed to the yellow and black and orange, I suppose. So you just got Retaliator on there. It's actually backwards in the camera, which is kind of funny, but that is the way around. Retaliator. Oh yeah. Obviously to prime it, I think you probably know, just hold this at the top. There's no dots in it, but yeah. This is actually quite rare. If you think about it, the Recon and Retaliator's prime mechanism is pretty rare. I mean, because normally, if you have a primary system on a blaster, then it's normally underneath. If it's a primary blaster, if it's a more longer blaster, it's extremely rare to have the primary system on top. Think of the Alpha Trooper, the Rampage, all these different things. They all have the primary system on the bottom. And I'm not sure, because I've not opened the internals of this, but that might be the reason why this is not slamfire. Because obviously the Recon was not slamfire, but not many N-Strike blasters were slamfire in the first place. But at least thought the Elite version, the Retaliator, would be slamfire. No, it's not. Prime it, fire. Now if you don't already know, slamfire is basically you can hold down the handle, put it back, and every time you push forward, it just fires. Like, it fires the minute you push forward. I really have to demonstrate a different gun, but I can't bother right now. So I was a bit disappointed in the fact that the Elite version doesn't have slamfire. I mean, for all I know, I haven't opened the internals of this. For all I know, it might be something in the mechanism where, you know, you can't have it slamfire, otherwise you have to move this. I don't know, but I'm a little disappointed it wasn't. Seems that most Elite blasters, and in fact some just normal N-Strike blasters, were slamfire. Not much to say. You can't really see in there at all. On the top, flip up and down, we just get a jam door, obviously if you have any jams. However, quite frankly, the jam door on all Nerf blasters is pretty useless, in my personal opinion. Mainly because if there is a jam in there, I don't get that many jams to be honest. But when I do get a jam, the slamfire, the jam door is pretty useless, especially in this blaster, because assuming it gets like jammed here in this position, then you can't open the door because it's only half down. So I mean, yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but whatever. Now, obviously, once you put the clip in, where's my clip? There it is. I dropped it on the floor. Oh well. Once you put the clip in, okay, yeah, and you push it forward. Oops. Okay. You can no longer push it back until you fire it. I don't know if you saw that dot coming out, but yeah. Which is a bit of a bummer, and then if you want to prime it again, you have to put it back again. I'm not sure if you saw that dot coming out, but yeah. Also, you cannot release the clip, you cannot take the clip out if it is forward, whether it's primed or not. If the cocking mechanism is forward, you cannot pull the clip out, which is a bit of a bummer, except for the Mega Centurion, where you can do that actually, but we'll get to that when I do the review of that. Now you take this out. Really nothing much to say about that. As you saw there, I just took it out by putting this thing on the side. You can do that without even letting go of the trigger, just like, well not, well, yeah, you have to, but with your index finger. Pull it out, and it's the same thing each side. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, that's good. Onto the clip, I suppose. We do get a, what is this, 12 dart clip. Now, unlike the normal end strike clips we used to get in the past, this one is half solid and half clear. And now normally we just got a fully solid one, obviously. One that you could not see the darts through either side. However, now we are actually getting one where you can see the darts in one of the sides, which is cool. Because the main reason you have this is the fact that you can manually see how many darts you left. Because in the middle of a war, I doubt many people are going to really try to remember how many darts have I got left. And yeah, I mean, on the old ones you did have this slit in there to try and tell. However, that wasn't very efficient, especially if you had a larger one where the slit didn't go all the way down. You couldn't really tell how many you've got left. But thankfully now you can. I mean, the rapid strike goes even further with this, making the entire clip clear. But we'll do that later. Technically speaking, this isn't completely clear, it's more tinted orange. However, you can definitely see how many darts you got left, which is cool. Nothing much to say about it. Says 12 down there. Nerf. By the way, I should probably point out, I'm not entirely sure how this video is going to look. I mean, I'm literally underneath my 100-watt bulb. Because I don't know what else lighting I can use. I mean, normally with my Lego reviews, I just use a pretty powerful lamp. However, I can't do that right now, just really because it'd just be far too much work. And yeah, I don't want to seem like I don't edit my videos, because I do, but okay. Anyway though, I think it's time that we got on to, if I can find it, that we got into the firing. Let's do this. Sorry guys, I'm back. Just before we do the firing test, I forgot to mention that I am going to compare these two. Oy. Now, I have to say back for this, but the Recon, which is the non-elite version basically, is obviously a bit longer. That's basically just down to the stock at the end. Because really the only thing that's different, looking at it, like the things you see, is basically the stock. That's the only thing that you visually see that's different, apart from obviously the clip as well. Now, as I was saying, where the Retaliator comes with this grip, the Recon comes with this laser pointer, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure, I don't really want to go into this too much depth, because I was thinking of doing the review of the Retaliator separately. The Recon separately. So I'm only doing a bit of a slash review. Now, obviously, because it's the End Strike one and isn't the Elite one, we are expecting a lot worse ranges. However, I believe at the time it wasn't that bad. It was alright. Could have done worse. Now the main thing was the fact that it came with a 6 dart clip, whereas this one comes with a 12 dart clip. And obviously the 6 dart one is better. As you can see, that is fully solid. You cannot see through either side, which is a bit of a bummer. Well, at the end of the day, it's 6 dart clip, so it wouldn't really matter if it was fully visible. But basically, apart from the internals, and apart from the paint job, it basically looks exactly the same gun. So really, if this is a contest between the Retaliator and the Recon, you might as well get the Retaliator, seeing that it's got better ranges, better accuracy, better everything. And also it does come with a 12 dart clip. In my personal opinion, a much more comfortable stock. The only thing you might be skeptical about is whether to get it with the grip or with the laser pointer. I suppose the laser pointer is more useful, however it's not incredibly accurate beyond a certain range, and it is pretty comfortable holding it like this, quite frankly. I mean, at first, when I first got this, I didn't find it very comfortable at all, mainly because I was used to holding Nerf guns like that, holding it underneath, but now that I've got used to it, I actually find it pretty comfortable holding like this, especially when you've got things like the Radio and the Rampage, which do pretty much the same thing, where you hold it like that. Okay guys, now let's get on to the range test. Okay guys, so I'm outside, I don't know, some random field somewhere. My house is sort of a bit down the street. But yeah, anyway, so I'm outside and we are going to do a range test. Now you all have to accept that there are, I have had this gun like more than a year. So the ranges will have decreased, and the fact that I really should have got a tape measure before I said I was going to do this, but I didn't, and this is where we are. I don't have a tape measure. So I suppose really, I brought the Recon out here as well as Retaliator. So I suppose really this can be a comparison between the two ranges. Now, as you see, there are a couple of people going along there. If you can see behind me, yeah. and it might be quite embarrassing because this is a fairly congested street. I mean, well, it's not really a street at all, it's sort of just the back around my house, but the point is, you know, it might be fairly awkward, but I will try to overcome that. I am a 16-year-old child playing with Nerf guns. Now, I shouldn't be embarrassed, but I sort of am, and I think it relates to that. So yeah, and I look older than 16, don't I? A lot of people say I look older than 16. They'll stare at me. They'll stare at me. Okay. Anyway, let's get on to the actual thing. Sheesh, enough talking. Okay, now I've never done it before, so I'm not quite sure what angle you want me to do this, or which angle is the best. We'll do it like this. I think that's fairly straight, isn't it? Along there. By the way, I should probably mention that oh, sorry, yeah. I should probably mention that because this came with a 12 dart clip, I'm using 12 darts, the full clip, and I will use 6 darts for the Recon, because that came with a 6 dart clip. Oh, okay. I did a dry fire there, but okay. Now this has not been modified in any way, however it has been used for like a year. Now on the bright side, they are pretty much in the same area. Quite frankly, it did awfully. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, by the way, if you can hear me that well. I am sort of moving away from the camera randomly. I should probably do this better, but I mean, I don't really want to shout, mainly because it'll be a bit embarrassing. Anyway, so I've got the Recon here. Now, yes, the Recon does come with a scope, by the way, but I mean sight, sorry. I do have that, but actually I completely forgot to put it in my comparison, but quite frankly, it's nothing too special. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and when I do the actual review of the Recon, I'll make sure to mention that. Anyway, guys, let's get onto it. Well, I'm doing 6 shots, because it only came with a 6 dot drum. Oh dear. Four. Okay. Right then. That was bad. Quite bad. Alright, so I don't have any tape measure at all, but let's just sort of go. This is the first Recon shot. Yeah. How far is that away? I don't know how far that away is. I don't know. Let's say 10 feet. Another Recon. I've also had the Recon for some years, so that's, you know, also the Recon's range will be decreased as well. So it should, in theory, be fair, matched up. Well, I have had the Recon longer, but yeah. That's the first elite one. You notice all 6 of the Recon's darts are all below the Retaliators. The lowest Retaliator is exactly in line with the highest Recon. That's good. Now, as I've said, and I'm going to say this one last time, I've had these guns quite some time. I've had the Recon longer, which obviously means it's been used longer. So that will decrease the range quite a bit. But okay, so we have the first elite one, second elite one, about a foot. Now, around here, it is all very evenly sort of spaced. Not evenly, but see here, yeah, and you know, it's all pretty much the same place, which is good. And I think this is the longest elite one from the Retaliator, and this is about, I don't know, how far is that? I have no idea, I've never done it before. I will have to buy a tape measure for my next review, but you know, this is just a starting one. Hopefully when I'm still doing this channel in 10 years, my reviews and ranges will be a lot better. Yeah. Okay guys, so that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I don't actually know how long it was, because I keep having to stop and start it, and there's going to be a bunch of editing, more editing than my main channel. Please subscribe to this channel, it's my first ever video. I'm quite proud of it. Well, I mean, for the first video ever, it could be worse. I'm going to have to collect all these darts. That'd be fun. Okay, so please subscribe to this channel and my next channel, and comment on anything else you want me to do. I will be doing all sorts. I'll be trying to do Nerf wars in the future. I doubt there'll be any this year, but just sort of saying what's happening on this channel. And obviously I'll be doing a lot more. I think the next gun to review in comparison and all that will probably be, I don't know, maybe the Alpha Trooper. Maybe, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in another video. There's someone coming around the corner. Bye!